Okay, girls, for chapter 10.5, it talks about using a table to show sample spaces. So what happens is that sometimes all the exercises that we have done so far have like only one step. So tossing a coin or rolling a dice. But what happens if we combine it? So it could be like if I toss one coin first and then another coin, or if I roll a dice first and then another dice, or if I flip a coin and then roll a dice, and then we can check different types of exercises. So to do this is much more easy if we use a table to do the sample space, and that will clarify things. So let's do an example. So let's say that I'm going to toss a coin and roll a dice, okay? So if I'm going to do that, we are going to do the following. I didn't write here, but let's say example, and it's only going to be one example, and it's about, you can write that down because it will take me forever to write it down. So tossing a coin and rolling a dice, okay? So if I do that, let's do this table together. So I'm going to do heads here. Those are my two outcomes that I can get when I toss a coin. So heads or tails. And over here I'm going to write perfect. And let's see what are my options of rolling the dice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I have to make this one a little bit longer. Perfect. And let's write this one. It has to be an ordered pair in the same way that when we did a Cartesian plane, X and Y, I cannot say right here heads 1 and then 2 heads because it's not organized. I'm going to create a system that works for me. I'm going to put always first the dice and then the heads. Okay, so I'm going to say I can get a 1 and an H. I can get a 2, H, or 3 and an H, or a 4 and an H, or a 5 and an H, and a 6 and an H, or I can get a 1 and a tail, a 2 and a tail, a 3 and a tail, a 4 and a tail, a 5 and a tail, a 6 and a tail. Perfect. So if I want to write my sample space here, all my outcomes, we write it as an order pair. So we said, okay, I had 1 H, comma, 2 H, comma, 3 H, comma, 4 H, comma, 5 H, comma, 6 H, comma, and now underneath 1 tails, comma, 2 tails, comma, 3 tails, comma, 4 tails, comma, 5 tails, comma, 6 tails, comma, and we close. Perfect. So what is the size of our sample space? It's 12. Wonderful. Okay, so now let's do some examples. So some exercises here. So what is the probability of obtaining a head? So if we go up, I'm going to do this with different colors. So if we do and say heads, all of these ones agree? So this one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can obtain a head by getting 6 over, what is the size? 12. So this is 1/2. In other words, 50%. Beautiful. Now let's do another one. Let's do, what is the probability of obtaining a tail and an even number. And an even number. So let's do this one with green. So let's look at our sample space. So if I do a tail and an even number, so now I'm focusing on the second column. I'm focusing in here. I have my tail and even number. So I have 2, 4, 6. So only 3, agree? Out of how many? 12. Because why 12? Because this is my size of my sample space. So 3 out of 12, which is the same as 1/4, which is the same as 25%. Perfect. Now, let's do another one. The probability of getting a 5. And let's do this one with pink. So a 5, we look up here. Okay, a 5. So now my options are this one and this one. So how many? 2 out of 12. So we go down and we say, okay, it's 2 out of 12, which is the same as 1/6. And in a previous example, we already saw that this one was equal to 17%. And the last example that we're going to do is the probability of getting a tail and a number greater than 2. A tail and a number greater than 2. And I'm going to do this one with yellow. Okay, so we go up and we say, okay, what are my options here? It says I have to get a tail, so I'm talking about the second column here, and a number greater than 2. So 1 doesn't count, 2 doesn't count, so it has to be 1, 2, 3, and 4 out of how many? 12. So it's going to be 4 out of 12. A little bit more space here. 4 out of 12, which is equal to 1/3, which is equal to 33%. Okay, girls, I hope you find this useful. Do your exercises, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.